Greetings, online community. Greetings, greetings, greetings. It's a beautiful day to share something from the heart to my fellow online creators. Yeah. Greetings, beloved community. I wanted to offer you some encouragement. I wanted to offer you some encouragement while I'm filming content. Yeah, just to share from the heart, the key lessons that I've learned by being visible online for the last 8 years and supporting a lot of people and stepping up in their courage, being visible consistently, being visible in your full expression, being visible in your authenticity, right? And it's all inspiring when we are driven. Yeah, let's talk about that. It's all inspiring when we are driven by that noble calling, right? Because a part of our awakening, spiritual awakening, is the spontaneous desire to be of service. So usually that's why we come to the online space, because we have a genuine desire to share something that we believe in, right? From the core of our soul. So at some part of the journey, you will inevitably begin to experience people's projections, people's expectations, people's judgments. It comes with the process. You can't avoid it even if you try really, really hard to please everybody, right? And I'm here as a messenger today that you are not here to please. You are here to shine your light. You are here to follow your joy. You are here to be an authentic expression of your soul. Some people who connect with your content will do so much to remind you that your job is to please them. That is your job, to stand on your head and to please them. It comes with this path, beloveds. And as a recovering people pleaser, this has been a deep pattern for me. This was a major block for me because when I began sharing my creativity online, it brought up so much vulnerability. It was incredibly vulnerable to take my creation from the womb, from my own being, and offer it to the world. It brought a lot of vulnerability. And I had to come to terms that some people will welcome it with open hearts and will see resonance. And some people will offer me uninvited, unsolicited feedback and criticism that I didn't even ask for. And in the beginning, loves, it was so hard for me to receive that uninvited feedback. I remember I published my very first book, which was a collection of interviews. And it was so scary to do it. It took so much dedication to the process, and I finally put it out. And one person sent me literally a 5-page feedback, offering how that book could have been done better and more clear. And I couldn't even read that document. I was so sensitive to any kind of criticism, constructive or unconstructive, invited or uninvited. I couldn't even read it. I was like, it took all of my courage to publish this thing. And here comes a 5-page information of how I could have done it better. So what I'm here to remind you, loves, showing up online is far from easy. Showing up online with all of your authenticity, with all of your passion, with all of your radiance is far from easy as well, because for some people your light will be too much. For some people, your courage will be a trigger of everything in their life that they are framed to claim for themselves. And you get to be ready for that, right? You will take it personally. It will hurt your feelings. It comes with the journey. But what is going to help you? It's going to help you develop a very strong character. It's going to help you purify any unaligned intentions. It's going to really test you, right? It's going to test you, and you will say, I'm here to serve something higher. And some people will understand my intention, and some people will absolutely misunderstand where I'm coming from. And my inner child will feel unsafe. And it's my job to sit with my inner child and to comfort him or her, right? You know, darlings, it's really a process, and I'm here to, timely as always, I'm here to welcome, beloveds, everybody who's joining right now. And if you and I connect, you know, look at my filming setup. There is always creativity that is happening. Not always. Yesterday I was receiving a 3-hour body work to prepare for the live event that I'm hosting this weekend. But this was very important to share because you didn't come here to dance for everybody's tune. You didn't come here to entertain people's projections, and you didn't come here to please. You came here to follow your joy, and you came here to express your light. And some people will see it, and some people will not see it. And as I shared before, sometimes you will be resourced and centered and really clear that none of this will bother you. You will be like that duck shaking the water from its back. And on other days where you feel under-resourced, maybe you're carrying so much and you feel fatigued or lonely, you know, that unsolicited feedback will hurt your feelings. And you will sit there wondering if it's worth for you to show up online, right? So I'm here to share this so you're prepared. You're prepared for this path. And if it's truly a part of your calling, right, it's a part of your calling, then you will lean on your tools. You will talk to people who really see you. This is why it's so important to surround yourself with people on the same path. And remember, one thing that I've learned from an elder, I love mentoring with different mentors. I believe in mentorship so deeply. This is part of my work in the world. I'm a mentor. And sometimes I mentor with people my own age. Sometimes I mentor with elders. But one of the things an elder told me that really liberated me, she said, Katerina, we sat together in silence for a good 10 minutes, tuning into the field. And then she said, Katerina, I'd like to remind you that you don't own anyone anything. You don't own anyone your insights. You don't own your service. You don't own your creativity. You don't owe. That's what I was trying to express. You don't owe anyone anything. Unhook yourself from this pattern of obligation and make a decision. And from now on, anything you bring into the world is because it is an expression of your heart. It's because you desire to share. It's because it brings you joy. And this was really powerful, beloveds, because sometimes, you know, when we start on this path of service and we're so excited to finally be of support to others, we can get trapped into this pattern of, in this pattern of obligation, right? And it's far from healthy. So this is a process of aligning yourself and asking yourself, why I am doing this, why I'm doing that, where is it coming from? Hi, Gracie, my kitty, she's here. So to summarize this message, showing up online with your message, with your offerings, with your voice, and showing up consistently is far from easy. And I'd like to validate that for you if you find the challenge with that, if you're working through a lot of inner stuff. And you cannot control how your message will be received. It's out of your hands. Remind yourself you're here to be a messenger, right? A messenger. And how the message will be received is out of your hands, which is a beautiful moment of grace, right? It's such a beautiful moment of grace. And we all have a unique, sacred purpose. Your purpose is different from my purpose, right? It's unique to you. It's unique to everything you went through, everything that you've learned, everything that you've discovered about yourself. Your message is unique to you. So imagine if I step into your world and tell you, you know what? Why don't you talk about that message? Why don't you talk about the message that is important to me, right? It would be silly. It would be silly. What I encourage is you to follow your light and to follow your dharma. And I'm so glad that it's unique to each person, that we're all here to express our uniqueness, to express our light, to share what brings us joy, right? Not out of sense of obligation or even a sense of duty. This used to be a word that I liked, but out of sense because it brings you joy. So this is my message for today. The visibility piece, being visible online is a crucial piece. If we believe in our message, using the platform of social media as a platform that you can broadcast your message, right? It's an incredible opportunity that we have that we did not have 10 years ago, 20 years ago, where social media did not exist, right? So I always focus on the benefits and of the unique opportunities that we have right now. And I also want to share something that will prepare you for inevitable challenges that come with this process. That not everybody will clap or cheer you on or understand you. And that's okay. Your people will. People of the same vibration, they will. They will recognize your essence. And they will say, your energy is so familiar. Your essence is so familiar. And I'm drawn to you. And you are the messenger for them and they're a messenger for you. So as I go back to filming my content, this was very important to share because it's a key to our sustainable leadership. It's a key to our sustainable service. When I contemplate on the frustration and challenges of leadership, the number one challenge is definitely projections. Some people will think of you as a hero. Some people will think of you as a saint. But the more and more visible you are, the less and less human you appear to people. And when you allow and gently invite people to see a human being in anybody they admire or resonate or look up to, it's a human being who is just like all of us, has low moments, has fears, has doubts, and something in him or her is calling them to step up and lead. Leadership is far from easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Leadership, we are being trained on the path of leadership through the series of trials by fire. And they don't stop coming, they don't stop coming. And that's what I wanted to express, is to see a human in a role model, in a teacher that you admire, right? Whenever I sit with my mentors, I look up to them. I look up to their wisdom that they share, to their grace, to their loving kindness, But I also remind myself to see a human being in front of me that is fallible, that can make mistakes, that will make mistakes. And for that reason, I love them even more, right? Because they're not perfect, but they still dare to step up and share their message and to lead in a very imperfect human way. So that's what I wanted to share. I covered a few topics, and if you and I just meet, you're like, who is this woman? Hi. I love sharing this message on Instagram. My name is Katerina. I currently live in Southern California, and I share the message of empowerment, truly soul empowerment. My life is devoted to wisdom, and I create these learning containers, learning experiences for people online, offline. I also have a private mentorship practice. But this is the path that has truly called me to commit to it. And I do it because it brings me incredible sense of joy. I do it because it brings me deepest fulfillment to see people step into their power. You know, there is nothing more fulfilling to my heart than seeing people discover their soul gifts and then walk on a journey of learning how to develop those gifts, right? To the level of true mastery, and then share those skills with the world in their own unique way, or to share them with their community in their own unique way. And I love reminding my community that we're all unique. You know, some people have a global calling, right? And it's usually because they don't really seek it. They don't want it, right? They know what comes with the global visibility. Wow, the criticism that comes, the projections that comes, right? The pressure to be always on. And it's usually the deep calling of the higher self that says, I know you're shying away from this, but your mission is on a global scale, right? And a lot of times we will fight the deeper calling. We will fight the deeper visibility because it comes with a lot of responsibility. It comes with incredible amount of discipline that needs to be developed to be able to be at that level. And it comes with a lot of tests of purification of our ego. So we'll be able to wield that level of influence without being trapped by our ego. And then so many of us are being called to shine the light in our local communities. You know, maybe so many of us will serve, you know, like the groups of 10 and 20 and 30 and 50. Or maybe you will do your one-on-one work, and that's your calling. I love to remind that we live in a holographic universe. And when you serve one, you serve all, you serve the whole. So there is a sense of devotion that we can bring to our one-on-one work that is so sacred. And not everybody will have this, you know, mission to speak to thousands and millions of people, right? But, you know, when we realize that when we support one person, we support the entire universe, because we live in a holographic fractal universe. My arm begins to go numb when I hold the phone. But it's but whether you serve one-on-one or whether you serve thousands and hundreds, my message today was, it is far from easy. Sometimes it will feel easy. Sometimes it will feel effortless. You know, the more you do it, the more mastery you develop. But then remember that you're also a human being who can be very sensitive to unsolicited feedback and definitely criticism, but it's coming, it's waiting, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. And we can't control what people think of us, and we can't control how people will receive our message. What we can be in charge, our responses to all of this, our ability to zoom out and to see this all grand divine play, And we play our role with devotion and detachment. And we don't identify with any role, knowing that this is all temporary. It's all temporary, right? That's where I find my strength to keep walking on this path called visible leadership. I remember the big picture. I remember the big picture. That's what inspires me to remind you to remember your big picture and to show up online because it brings you joy, not because of obligation or trying to please someone, trying to, trying so hard to people like you. I was talking to a sweet client of mine, and she's a wisdom keeper who is in her 60s, and she's finding incredible courage to share herself online, and imperfect in her humanity. And she was posting a few things, and then she's like, Katerina, it's been received. I got some good comments and good likes. And there's like, yes, yeah, doesn't it feel so good? And then I said, and be prepared for some negative comments, and be prepared for some angry hearts, because they're coming too. And your ability to source your equanimity in being completely detached, knowing your true motivation comes from, I share myself online because I believe in my message, because it brings me joy to uplift others, because it brings me joy to focus on something beside just what do I get from it myself, right? So if you just joined, beloveds, I've been talking about why being visible online is far from easy, and how criticism and unsolicited feedback will absolutely be heading and coming your way. And there will be days where you will be resourceful and resilient, and it doesn't matter to you. You will be learning how to find neutrality. And there will be other days where you will take it to heart, and you will want to hide under the pillows and be like, you know what? I'm not going to show up after this at all. So those are a part of this experience, right? And I'm just here to encourage you that I go through that. And everybody who dares to be visible and to live a life of authenticity, life of service, they experience that too. So just a gentle reminder to keep sharing your light because it brings you joy. And some people will resonate, and some people will misunderstand and project all kind of things on you. But you be like the duck that can shake it off. Like shake it off, right? That's why we have all these tools and all these mindfulness practices, so we'll be able to find clarity and strength to persevere. You're so welcome, darling. Ora Kitty Cat says, I love you, soul sister. Thank you for sharing your life. Thank you, dear. I receive and really appreciate your words. All right, darlings. I'm here with you. Time as always. And you're welcome. You're welcome, Intuition Hake. Thank you, dear. Yeah. I love you. Thanks for connecting with my message online. And I will see you very soon. I'm leading a 2-day intensive this weekend, all dedicated to the Gene Keys. And it's always such a precious gift to be in person with people. Then you can really transmit the vibration of your heart into other people's auras. It is so powerful. So powerful. Katerina says, keep sharing. Our light is best. Having you is best. Thank you so much. And I saw Brittany there. It says a great message. Thank you, darling. All right, beloveds, have a beautiful, radiant day and follow your joy.